Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Crew First Culture podcast. This is Jeremy again. Thank you very much for spending some time with me today. I really appreciate that as always. So today, I want to jump right into kind of the thoughts that brought me to record something because, you know, as I've mentioned here and there throughout the year, I really wanted to do a better job of kind of being more consistent with not just the podcast, but social media as well. And I guess to throw in a disclaimer or to maybe clarify that a little bit more, I wanted to be more consistent as far as not having big big breaks like I have kind of fallen into over the past couple years. And I say that, but still not at the expense, of course, of the higher priorities. But it's just a goal, basically. I will say that. And so, you know, things went pretty well for quite a few months starting out of the year. And even though they were a little rocky as far as just things we were dealing with as a family and at work, I was still able to kind of keep going. And now, as I talked about the last episode or two, I hit another dry patch. And I'm not going to go back into that because I know I talked a little bit about it and I've talked about it in the past, but I will, I do bring it up because it is part of the reason I wanted to share some stuff today. And the reason I bring it up is because I'm starting to really see that those breaks, at first I thought that they were just okay, we got a lot going on and my mind is occupied or my time is occupied, and to a point some of it is, I mean, that's obvious, that's going to be an issue when you got a lot going on. But I will say that something much deeper is the hindrance to my consistency, even more so than just time and energy and all that. And so before I go any farther into that story, I want to just read some lyrics, and I've done this in the past. And I've had some people, mention that they really enjoy whatever particular song or whatever, and I get it. It's a little awkward. I'm just reading lyrics, but the songs that I've done this with are pretty impactful songs, especially in whatever kind of season or area I'm at, at that particular moment. And this one is no different. I I probably listened to it 10 times on the way to work this morning, and basically the same has happened the past several days in a row. So the song is called Even If. It's by Mercy Me. If you've heard it, it's going to really screw you up because you're going to know what the song sounds like, and I'm just going to sit here and talk about it. But anyway, so they say sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And right now I'm losing bad. I've stood on this stage night after night, reminding the broken it'll be all right. But right now, I just can't. It's easy to sing when there's nothing to bring me down. But what will I say when I'm held to the flame like I am right now? I know you're able, and I know you can. Save through the fire with your mighty hand. But even if you don't, my hope is in you alone. They say it only takes a little faith to move a mountain. Well, good thing. A little faith is all I have right now. But God, when you choose to leave mountains unmovable, Oh, give me the strength to be able to sing. It is well with my soul. I know you're able, and I know you can. Save through the fire with your mighty hand. But even if you don't, my hope is you alone. I know the sorrow and I know the hurt would all go away if you just say the word. But even if you don't, my hope is you alone. You've been faithful. You've been good all of my days. Jesus, I will cling to you come what may, because I know you're able. I know you can. So that's most of it. It basically kind of keeps repeating the chorus after that. And I know I misplaced a couple words in there, but you get the point. That's the story of my inconsistency in a nutshell. When I am struggling to feel like I have a voice, when I am struggling to feel like I have a message, those are the times that I get quiet with the podcasting and with the social media. And I hope this doesn't seem like a trivial, just a thing to bring up, because I truly feel like there's a lot to be said within it. When I get to that point where I feel like I have nothing really to share, I am usually mentally, emotionally, and physically drained and exhausted. I just don't have anything that comes out. And like I've said before, if I'm not at that point, if I don't have a message that I feel like I want to share or I need to share, if I don't have something that I feel like is going to add some type of value to somebody out there, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put it out. I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to release a podcast. I'm not going to do it. And so that has put me in those situations of, I do, like they said in the song, he stood on stage night after night, reminding the broken that it'll be all right. And I feel like that's kind of a little piece of what I am trying to do as well. I record these episodes to remind people that it will be all right. I share things with my life in hopes that others will see that they're not alone, in hopes that others can gain strength, in hopes to add value to others. But when my feet are at the fire, and when I am facing challenges, it's easy for me to lose the message. And that's on me. It doesn't have anything to do with the journey I'm on, or the path that has been put forth before me. That path is not made for me to keep quiet and to, lock down and not share with others. But I feel like when I am either making mistakes, when I'm not doing my best in whatever we're talking about, it being, an officer, which is my job, being a leader, which, whether I'm at work or home, is one of the biggest priorities of my life. If I'm not being the husband I should be or the parent I should be. It's very hard for me to speak and put myself out there, because who am I to be like that? And it's, as I'm saying that, I'm realizing, well, if that's what you feel, then when you do speak, you that means that you feel like you have something, you know, I don't know. I'm getting lost in thought here, because the mind is such an amazing thing, but it is also it can be such a dangerous thing. It could be such a huge obstacle for us to overcome. Most of the obstacles in our life that we struggle with all reside in our head. I've struggled with imposter syndrome. I've struggled with comparison so much, and I know I've kind of mentioned that a little bit in the past. But again, that's a piece of this. When I get so frustrated because I do put myself out there a lot, and just trying to do whatever I can to share the message I have, and to hopefully help people the best I can. And I don't really see any benefit out of that, or I don't feel the benefit out of that, or I start, which again, I it's embarrassing for me to even say these things, because I don't want to be like this. But when I start comparing myself to other people that I see, you know, doing things that seem to be better than what I'm doing, I start getting in my own head and thinking, man, what are we even doing? What do you have that is worth putting out there? What do you have that anybody is going to care about? And so I struggle with that a lot, and I hate it. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to feel like I have nothing to give, because there's always something to give. There's always something to share. But that's just life for me. And so again, I'm bringing up the situation of the, taking kind of not really breaks, but just kind of not being consistent with the stuff that I've talked about, because it all leads back to me. It all leads back to my head. It all leads back to stuff that I need to work out. I know who I am. I know I know my purpose. I know my identity. I know why God put me here. So why do I struggle with imposter syndrome stuff? Why do I struggle comparing myself to others? It doesn't make any sense. I shouldn't even worry about that stuff. I shouldn't ever even think about it, because I know my path is different. I know my purpose is different. I know that I am here to reach people that others maybe aren't able to reach. But if I made my journey and my path the same as others that I'm sitting here trying to compare myself to, then I'm defeating the purpose of everything that I've been put here for. And so I don't understand why I do struggle with that type of thing so much. But again, that's the mind, right? That's the struggle we have, winning that war within. So I think that I'm going to end it right here. I might sit here, think through a few things more, reflect on a couple things, and kind of almost continue the conversation in maybe a little bit different direction for another episode. But I do want to say this. I am really, really excited to be on as a guest to Corley Moore's weekly scrap on Wednesday, August 9th, and that'll be at 8 p.m. Central Time. So if you've got some time, please log in and join us with that. You know, it's a live, I don't know what podcast, I guess. he releases it on podcast, but it's a live event. They're doing it on he's doing it on YouTube live now. And you know, one of the kind of the coolest things about it is the interaction with the people that are watching it live. And so I would love to have a good turnout of people engaged, and I'm going to try my best to share the message and pursue the purpose that I have been placed here to do, and take advantage of that opportunity the best I can. So please log in and join with that. There's links on my social media. There's links on the Firehouse Vigilant website and social media, or just look them up on YouTube and join me then. So that's all I got for today. Thank you so very much. Appreciate your time. Just hope that everybody's having a great day out there, and look forward to talking with you again. Thank you. Until later, stay humble and do work.